Hello, YouTube. Thank you for stopping by my channel. This is the Earth Angel Network. This reading is about how are you transforming in this new year. So in just a moment, you will see the piles, but I just want to say that while I am filming this at the beginning of 2026, if you find it at the beginning of 2027 or 2028 and it resonates with you, then it is still your message at that time. So, about to put the piles up, pick which one resonates with you the best, and let's jump right in. Hey, pile one. So, this is the pile that chose the Hermit card. Which is the man sitting down in the lotus meditation position. There's like a ton of books around him, a peridot crystal, some incense burning, a door in the background, and there's like some smoke or a smoke cloud that looks like the cosmos coming in, and an eye above the door, and a lantern. So if you chose that pile, what I'm getting for you just from the picture alone is that this is going to be a very introspective and reflective year for you. I feel like the people in this pile are people who have had their feet in two worlds. And when I say that, what I mean is this may be people who have been very interested in spiritual things and are very drawn to spirituality, higher knowledge, esoteric knowledge, but have kind of been living in two worlds. So this may be people who do have a lot of worldly things they engage in, but also do dibble dabble or have curiosity about spirituality, but have not fully dedicated themselves to that path, right? So for those of you that have chose this pile, this may be the year that you fully devote yourself to your spiritual path, or that where you are initiated into a higher level of spirituality, or a deeper level of spirituality, a deeper understanding of life, of self, a deeper connection with God, with the Most High, whatever you believe in, right? So I feel like this pile may find themselves this year less drawn to worldly things. So for example, you may find yourself doing a digital detox. You may want to disconnect. You may feel like disconnecting from Instagram or whatever social media you use. You may deactivate your profiles for a while and kind of tap out of that and kind of tap more into being out in nature, reading books, right? Reading spiritual books, philosophical books, watching videos that are more, again, about spirituality or about philosophy or theology, whatever it is, right? But you're going to be more focused on gaining spiritual knowledge, because the hermit is someone that's on a solo path seeking knowledge of self and just higher knowledge in general, and also seeking a deeper connection with the unseen, right? Or with God. The hermit is somebody that is focused on going within, seeking answers from within as well as without, but studying in order to gain clarity and wisdom. So a lot of you guys this year, you may find yourself separating yourself from things, people, places, habits that don't align with this spiritual path that you are devoting yourself to. You may find yourself kind of feeling more drawn to having alone time, and living a bit more of a reclusive life. Even if you were someone that feared being alone or fears kind of separating yourself from certain things, this is the year where you're going to have the strength to actually do that, to actually choose yourself and choose this path fully. This is like a year of initiation for you all, a year of spiritual awakening, a higher level of spiritual awakening, because I feel like we have many awakenings on this path because there's levels to this, right? So it's like you're going to be moving into a higher level or a deeper level, however you want to look at it. This is a year where you start to really develop your spiritual practices. You may start to meditate more. You may start to just feel more connected to a higher power, to whatever higher power you believe in, or however you refer to that higher power. Like I said, if it's God, if it's the Most High, if it's the divine source, if it's Allah, if it's Krishna, if it's, it doesn't really matter so much in that sense, but just saying you're starting to feel more connected to that. You're starting to be able to see, right? Your third eye is opening, or will be fully opening. You will start to have better spiritual sight. You'll start to be able to see things clearer about the nature of reality. And you'll also be able to see the patterns in your life, and kind of see how everything that's happening in your life is very intentional, and how the different things you've experienced, you're going to see how they all connect and like lead up to this present moment, right? Like even with the door being open, I feel like it's like you're going to be able to also unlock different parts of yourself. And it's going to feel like you have the keys to the universe, right? Like you're going to be able to feel like or to the Akashic records, or to whatever. Like you just are gaining higher knowledge, higher wisdom, right? Divine wisdom. And you're starting to feel like you actually are starting to really understand these things. Because, sometimes we hear a lot of, we take in a lot of information, but we don't fully integrate it. We don't fully understand it. We don't fully embody it, right? So this is the year of starting to embody the knowledge that you have taken in, and even gaining more knowledge. Like I said, you may be more drawn to listening to audiobooks, buying books, and just taking in more information, rather than being distracted by social media and worldly things, like going out a lot, maybe friends that are not aligned with this path. I'm also being drawn to the necklaces that the guy is wearing in the picture. Some of you guys may be getting into African traditional religions, so I'm not completely informed in that area, but if you are someone that's getting into like Santeria, Ifa, like things like that, those necklaces are reminding me of ilekes, which I believe are spiritual necklaces, and I think they're connected to like the orishas and things like that. So some of you guys may be seeking to be initiated into something like that, or again, like if you're taking that kind of religious path, but you're just going deeper into your spirituality and or religious, path. I'm also seeing that a lot of you guys, let's say if you have kind of felt like, although you are very curious about spirituality or even getting deeper into your religion, whatever the case may be, you have not been feeling that again, that direct connection to God, to the Most High. You haven't been feeling, because you know how sometimes early on, or maybe when you're not really, or if you are early on in your path, you can we have that, there's a period where you start to question everything and question the existence of an omnipresent energy, or this kind of questioning if there even is a God, if there even is, again, this omnipresent source that's kind of guiding and directing everything. And I feel like you're going to start to feel that energy and understand that that energy is watching you. Like, you're going to understand that, you're going to see the connections. And one of the cards that you actually got, which I'm going to get into later, because I do have a couple pre-pulls, is actually having to do with that. You got the card angel numbers. So I feel like, again, like, you're going to start to see how God, the Most High, the divine source, is communicating with you. You're going to start to notice the signs, the synchronicities, the messages, whether it is through like a repeated number, or maybe you're seeing your birthday on the clock, or maybe you're seeing you have a conversation with someone that answers a question that you had, or there's just going to be these coincidences that you're going to realize are not coincidences. These are actually divine orchestrations that are trying to guide you to a certain path, to a certain understanding. And you're going to kind of see it as like winks from God, showing you like you're on the right path, or I see you, or I hear you. You're going to start to notice that more. You're going to start to notice how certain things occur, or certain conversations occur, or you maybe run into certain things, or you might notice something. So, we all have our different way that we communicate with God, with the Most High, with whatever we believe in, right? And you're going to start to understand how you get your messages, right? There's going to just be a lot of those synchronicities happening for you to kind of encourage you to keep going down this path. You also got the card magically transforming the alchemist, right? So this guy's wearing a necklace as well. So I feel like some of you guys may be getting into crystals. You may be getting into candle, like manifestation magic, money magic. He's also writing and drawing something down here, like sigils, or just affirmations, scripting, whatever type of way that you manifest, right? I see you guys getting more into a deeper understanding of the subconscious mind, the power of the tongue, the power of words, and our thoughts, and just kind of really being intentional about your spiritual practices. Some of you guys may start to set up altars, or again, like just meditation, yoga, different things like that. Like just you're just going to start to really figure out your spiritual practices, right? And being more devoted to a routine around that. And kind of, like I said, like kind of just shutting out anything that doesn't align with this new version of self that you are trying to bring to fruition, right? So there is a sense of a death that is happening as you enter this 2026. You are completely, or you're basically trying to kind of like clear your path, clear out the old and kind of step into this new version of self that is more focused on the sacred aspects of life. And I feel like, again, that kind of ties into this other card that you got, the temple. And in this picture, you can see that there's kind of like these prayer hands, and all of these lines are kind of focused on the individual that's praying. So I feel like this is a period, again, of like focusing on prayer and connection to God, to the Most High, to self, focusing on worship, focusing on praise, and kind of, again, the temple, like really creating a sacred space within your home, having more reverence for life. There's also this kind of like with the temple, I'm thinking of the body, and even in the picture, the guy is pretty fit. So you may also just be, again, holistically focusing on yourself and kind of turning inward, because the hermit is introspective. Again, it's focused on, again, not only seeking knowledge from without, but also seeking knowledge from within, and realizing like a lot of the answers are within us. And that if we're quiet enough and calm enough, we can hear the voice of God, we can hear the voice of the divine, and we can also hear our own inner truths, right? And kind of really tap into who we are. So I'm seeing that that's another theme here. There's this pursuit of holistic self-improvement, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, psychologically, right? Just really focusing on bettering oneself and aligning with one's higher self. Okay, right? So that's another theme here. Some of you guys may also find a guide or mentor during this year, and it may not even be somebody physically that you know. It may be just someone on YouTube that is a spiritual teacher, or, you know, a guru kind of vibe that you really connect with. And that person may be a very huge guiding light on your path. I'm also going to look up real quick because I believe that is peridot in the background, like a peridot crystal. And I want to kind of know what peridot symbolizes. Let me see here. Symbolism of peridot. So it does say that it symbolizes renewal, and wards off evil spirits as well. So there's a form of protection that comes from it. Renewal and growth. So again, I feel like this is going to be a year of a lot of positive change, and that aligns with us entering 2026, because 2026 is a universal 1 year. So you're just going to really be focused on this you're going to be having a new beginning, you know? There's a sense of a rebirth here. There is people around you may start to notice that you're changing, may start to notice that you're a bit withdrawn. And one thing about the hermit path is, again, it is a very solo path. It can feel isolating. It can feel lonely at times. But I feel like as you're going down this path and you start to see how these spiritual practices, this knowledge seeking, this wisdom seeking are starting to actually show results in the physical, meaning that you start to see how the universe is communicating back to you, how God is communicating back to you, as you start to keep moving down this road. I feel like that's going to give you the strength where even if there is a bit of isolation, you're going to feel like you're going to realize you're not alone, right? Like I said, you're going to see that there is a power that is overlooking you, that is with you, that is guiding you, that is supporting you, that is actually there with you all the time. So although you will be spending more time alone, maybe even feeling like you want to start being in nature more, like I said, kind of disconnecting from technology or media and things like that, you're going to start to feel more connected than ever with your relation in terms of your relationship with God. So I feel like I was going to pull from the tarot, but we are at 19 minutes. So for those of you that chose this pile, once again, this is going to be a very transformative year for you in the sense that you are going to be leveling up spiritually. So I am very excited for that, and I would love for you guys to come back and leave a couple comments in the down below, letting me know how your year went and if you did experience this sort of spiritual upgrade, right? And just feeling a deeper connection to God. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time. Hey, pile two. So this is for the pile that chose the picture with Angela Bassett and the Emperor card. So if you chose this pile, what I'm getting for you, we're just going to jump right in, is that how you're transforming this year is that you guys are really bossing up. And when I say that, what I mean is you guys are really starting to take charge in your life. I'm seeing that this is a year of a lot of discipline, a lot of strategic action, a lot of consistency, a lot of determination. I see you guys being very targeted and intentional with what you do this year and how you spend your time. This seems to be the pile, like for example, pile 1 was going into an introspective year where they are kind of learning to turn inward and kind of start that process of like doing shadow work, gaining a deeper connection with the Most High, gaining a better understanding of self, doing some kind of soul searching. But I feel like this pile has already done that. This pile is now, they've gone within, they've gotten all the tools, they've gotten the wisdom, and now they are executing, okay? They are starting to, they're no longer, we always are learning, but you're more so not so much in a student mode, you're now more so moving into the teacher. Of course, life is learning. This is the school of life. But I'm just getting this energy of this pile is like taking action, right? I'm also seeing a common theme that was in both piles is that this kind of idea of like cutting ties with what no longer serves us or what no longer serves you. Because I'm seeing the snakes, and I feel like this is a year where if you see any snakes in the grass, you are not playing with these people. Like, you are quick to remove yourself from something. You are quick to cut somebody off. Like, you're not playing. Like, this is a year where you have no time for games. In fact, there are no snakes in the grass because I feel like you already cut them all out. And like anybody who comes into your life, if they start to even try to bring that energy, they will be thrown into the fire, right? So that's what I'm seeing, like in the background with the fire. It looks like there's kind of like some flames back there. Even as she's like kind of looking at the ground, it's like she has a master plan, right? So it's like you are not, this year, is a year for a lot of intentionality. Like I said, you're being very mindful of how you are using your time, what you're putting your attention to, what you're putting your energy on. Some of you guys may also be changing your appearance, or maybe going through some sort of appearance changes, whether this is a glow up or you're just kind of like rebranding yourself in some way, or kind of shifting how you dress, how you come off. Like there's some sort of rebranding here. This group is also leveling up spiritually. So the group pile 1 was leveling up spiritually, but was not at this, but is in a more earlier phase of their spiritual path. Let me put it that way. While this group seems to be highly spiritually ranked, this is the group that has been on this path, devoted to this path for a long time, versus the other group is kind of just at the initial phases of really devoting themselves to this path. But this seems like the path of those that have been in this. Like these are the veterans. Okay, these are people that have done their shadow work, probably been in this, already did the hermit phase, may even still be in the hermit phase, but have been on this solo journey, spiritual journey for a minute now. Could be years. When I'm saying solo, it doesn't mean that you're like literally completely isolated, but you know what I'm saying. Like this spiritual growth is a solo pursuit. It is a very personal journey, right? And I feel like this path is actually really at a new level, like has really upped their spiritual rank. These are the OGs, right? Like these people, if you chose this path, you are a teacher, you are a guide, you are in your own right, right? Like you are a guru in your own right, a sage in your own right, a seer. You know, these are the seers, the prophets, the intuitives, the healers, the shamans, shamanwomans. Like these are people that are on that path, right? So if you pick this pile, this is the year where you really step into that power, into that energy. This is the year where, you know how when you're leveling up spiritually, it is not necessarily always seen. This is a lot of unseen work. This is a lot of inner work. So it is not always obvious to the people around you how much growth you have actually accomplished, or how much work you've actually done on yourself. Sometimes it's not always obvious to the outside eye the amount of spiritual growth you're experiencing. But I feel like that is culminating in this year. In this year, you're actually going to be other people are going to start to be able to see that about you, like in some way, or they're going to be able to feel that, like whether you're saying it or not, people are going to be able to sense like you're different, like you're on another level. Like they may not have the words to describe what they're feeling about you, but it's just that they can tell that you're not like the average person. Like you're tapped in, like whatever it is, you're tapped in. Okay. You're one of the Most High's favorites. You're definitely a vessel for divine energy. Like there's something about you that's going to feel different to people when they meet you, when they talk to you. Your energy is going to be on another level. Some people may receive this differently. I feel like for the people in this pile, like for some of you, like I'm even looking at Angela Bassett in the picture. Some of you guys, this may be perceived as a witchy vibe. Like some people may just feel like there's something about you, but some people will be drawn to that and find it to be divine. And others may just be a little bit creeped out by it because they can't put their finger on what that is, right? But they're just feeling your spiritual rank and they just feel uncomfortable by that, right? And they can tell that you can see them because they can tell you're intuitive. Like the things you'll say, the things you're just, the way you're coming off, like people will be able to tell that you are tapped in, whatever the case may be. And this may be the year for those of you that have been wanting to pursue maybe careers in spirituality or, you know, that kind of field, healing and things like that, intuitive fields. Like you are going to fully be stepping into that. You're going to be embodying that energy. You also may be getting into herbalism, some of you guys. This may be the pile of the tarot readers, the oracles, again, the seers, the prophets. That's what I'm picking up from this. Another thing that is also relevant here is the card that you got, the first card that you got was the vessel. See, there's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to show this on here, but there's like a body and kind of coming out of this egg. So again, there's like this theme of like physical rebirth, okay, physically changing as well. You're also going to be taking very good care of your body, which was another thing that was actually in pile 1. That's something that's a common thread between the two piles. Even this rebirth energy, which again does align with this 2026 year, a universal year 1, which speaks to new beginnings, transformation, initiation. Like, so I feel like this is just like how pile 1 was getting initiated into a deeper level of spirituality. This pile is also being initiated into a higher rank within the spiritual realm, because you've earned it, because you've done the work, right? And it's not to say that there's never that the work ends. Like there's always more work to do technically, because knowledge is infinite, right? So we can always continue improving ourselves or deepening our understanding of life, of self, and even deepening our spiritual gifts, enhancing our spiritual gifts and our spiritual connection. So I feel like this pile is also going to be just really, again, just really intentional with every aspect of your life. Like it's just, you are focused on, the other card you got is this vision card. You are focused on manifesting your vision. You've aligned your chakras. You got 2 cards actually. So this one is alignment, but it says, your chakras are fine. It's your attitude, right? And you can see how in both of these cards, they're both sitting down in like this meditative lotus position with their chakras aligned. And I feel like, again, you've already aligned. You are in alignment. And even how here we're saying it's your attitude. I feel like your attitude, people may feel like this year that you do have a bit of a, like, if let's say if some of you guys were more not as confrontational, or kind of more harmonious, or kind of always seeking to like just take the higher road, right? Or like we're willing to always be the bigger person. And I'm not saying you're not going to do that anymore, but this is a year where it's like, if anybody is getting in the way of this path, or getting in the way of you actualizing this vision and bringing this vision to fruition, you're not playing. You have no time for that, right? Like, ain't nobody got time for that. That's the energy of this year. Like, you have goals and you're using your time wisely. Like, your priorities are clear. and you are protecting your peace. So if anybody is moving you out of this energy of being peaceful, aligned, and just very tuned in and focused on what really matters, what's sacred, and what is aligned with your purpose, then you are going to shift into this energy. Like you have no time. I'm also noticing like this kind of head wrap theme, like the head wraps here, the head wraps there. So some of you guys may be starting to, that may be the new image. Maybe you're starting to wear more head wraps, or maybe you're going natural. You can see she has locks, she has a fro, and then the head wraps. Maybe there's something about the image changing. Maybe some of you guys are trying to get a new tattoo. I noticed the 2 tattoos here. Or getting better at, like I'm seeing her, something about her eye, her makeup is standing out, like changing how you do your makeup. There's something about your physical appearance that's going to be shifting. Whether that's a glow up or it's just, like I said, just literally aesthetic wise, in terms of how you dress and like how you adorn yourself. That could be a thing. Something about your new physical appearance is going to be reflecting your inner self more, right? Whatever way that manifests itself. I'm also getting that for those of you with this vision, if you haven't done a vision board of some sort this year, or just kind of writing down what you want to come into fruition this year, that's what I'm getting, that's something that you guys should do. Because you're in a very focused, I'm focused, man. You should know this, man. I don't know I can't even remember like what song that comes from, but that's what I'm hearing. So it's like you just need to really outline what you're focused on, because it's going to keep you on target. That's going to keep your momentum going. Like, it's good if you kind of outline that, whether that's through a vision board or if you just like journal, your New Year's goals, or your, whatever the case may be. Like, just really jot that down so that's kind of like so that you can kind of have that as like a North Star, right, throughout the year, and kind of have that as something to kind of always remind you of what you're focusing on, because this energy is very driven. Again, you're taking authority over your life, right? You're starting to really, like, any area in life where you felt like you were kind of either procrastinating, or there was stagnation, or there was some kind of like delays. This is the year where you are moving full steam ahead. And this is also, I think in Chinese astrology, this is the year of the fire horse. And so that, again, is very fast movement, right? You're not playing games. Like, whoever this pile is, like, there's no, like, progress will be seen, progress will be made, right? There's no more procrastination here. Like, this pile is like one track minded. Let me look up real quick this year of the horse. Let me see. So yeah, it's saying fast action, innovation, breaking barriers, self-expression, increased social opportunities, increased energy, powerful shifts. So I feel like, again, like, this is a year where if there's any area of your life that there has felt like there's been barriers, you are breaking through that. This may be a year where you do start to be more bold, more dynamic, and just passionately pursuing your goals. So if there's anything that you really feel you've been kind of putting on the back burner, or that you've been having a hard time achieving these past couple of years, this is the year to really break away from those limitations and dive wholeheartedly into your pursuits, because this is the year where you can really capitalize on this 2026 energy, this universal year one energy, because it's going to be supporting you to really make the changes or meet the goals that you've been trying to accomplish, the goals that you've been trying to pursue or been wanting to pursue, but having a hard time achieving in the past. So that's what I'm getting for pile 2. I hope you liked the reading, and I hope it resonated with you. I am new to YouTube, so I really do appreciate your presence here, and I hope you come back for more. Thank you. See you next time.